Welcome to a special edition of How I Know, where we ask the public questions about Singapore's nature and conservation efforts. When we ask them, what does a city in nature mean to you? Will they go, how I know, What is the difference between a park, nature park, and nature reserve?
The name.
We were never taught this.
A park is something like this.
It's not required for a park to have a certain amount of greenery, so like it can just be a place where you run, so it's just a track and stuff.
I would assume that a park is more like just greenery, sort of, people go have picnics or whatever.
Recreational activities.
Nature park is more of less pathways.
A nature park, I think, would have more like, those little signs of like, oh, this is this plant, or oh, that's that plant.
A nature park would need certain amount of like tree cover plants.
Nature reserve is more for like conservation.
It's like under special protection or something.
Very raw.
Nature reserve is like a specifically reserved area of land that still has like its original flora and fauna there.
Exactly, that was perfect. So the next question is, do you know the names of the 4 nature reserves in Singapore?
Obviously not, but I'm gonna guess MacRitchie.
Is MacRitchie one?
MacRitchie,
Macritchie,
Tekong. Gedong.
Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, Labrador, Sungai Buloh,
one last one.
Central Catchment Area.
You got all 4! What about green spaces? Have you been to any green space, maybe near to your home?
Yes, the Tampines and Pasir Ris Park.
Tampines Eco Green. Everybody goes to Tampines Eco Green. In the 1960s, Singapore was known as a garden city. In the 2010s, it was known as City in a Garden. What is the new nickname for Singapore now?
We have a new nickname.
even gardener city.
City in something that we've been discussing quite a lot of.
Nature.
City in nature, that's right. When you think about city in nature, what does it mean to you?
Means they want to create like pockets of green places in the urban areas.
Yeah, I feel like Singapore is one of the most like more integrated cities.
Our roads, it's always lined with
It's always trees, and even some of the buildings there's like plants.
I feel it's going to be really helpful to everyone's mental health as well as cooling down the environment atmosphere.
Let's go back in time to 1963. Singapore's greening journey first started with the launch of the first nationwide tree planting campaign. In 1967, the Garden City Vision was introduced. The aim was to rapidly green up the island and transform it into a garden with the goal of creating a space that would help to bring Singaporeans together and attract foreign investment. Fast forward to 2011, the City in a Garden vision was introduced with the goal of transforming Singapore into a city nestled within a large garden rather than having separate gardens in a city. And it didn't stop there. In 2020, City in Nature was introduced to focus on naturalistic planting and to restore nature back into the city. One example is Nature Ways, which are streetscapes planted with trees and shrubs to replicate the natural structure of forests. One of the pillars under the Singapore Green Plan 2030, City in Nature aims to build upon past greening efforts to make Singapore a more livable, sustainable, and climate-resilient home for all. The 5 key strategies include growing nature park networks, naturalizing parks and gardens, restoring nature into urban areas, connecting green spaces, and enhancing vet care and animal management. Hopefully, this will encourage more people to visit the parks and maybe you can reconnect with your roots. With all this info, you might be wondering, how can I get involved? I've got you covered. You can connect with like-minded folks to conserve and celebrate our natural heritage through the Youth Stewards for Nature program, Nature Kakis Network, and Friends of the Parks initiative. Alternatively, you can join any nature activities with MParks or simply donate to the Garden City Fund, which is MParks' registered charity and IPC. Are you ready to be part of transforming Singapore into a city in nature? Check out the link here for more details. Bye!